The heroes launched a full-scale attack on the League of Villains. Everything was going smooth, until the strongest guy showed up. Yeah, the name everyone knows. All for One, the ultimate nemesis of heroes. His quirk copying power makes the Sharingan look like child's play. But through all the chaos, All Might still raised the banner of peace high with his hard-won victory. Yet that win came with a cost. His frail, skinny form was finally revealed. To put it bluntly, his secret's out. Picking up from last time. The next morning, All Might's in the hospital, wrapped head to toe in bandages. The symbol of peace is gone, but there's one thing he still must do. He needs to find Tomura, bring him back, protect him, just like his master would have wanted. But Torino immediately shuts that idea down. Torino knows he'd hesitate if they ever faced each other. Even if Tomura were the government's child, he's still a villain. From now on, the police and Torino will handle the investigation. Meanwhile, Shoto comes home, only to hear smashing and yelling inside. No need to guess, his old man is fuming again. He can't accept that the #1 hero title came to him so easily. Kinda like Bakugo back at the sports festival. Midoriya just got home too. He dives straight into bed and knocks out instantly. Dude's exhausted. Then the phone rings after a while. He bolts outside, skipping dinner, racing to meet his mentor at the beach. He thinks it's gonna be a touching reunion. But nope, All Might greets him with a punch to the face. That's what you get for breaking your promise. All Might tells him straight, his body can't fight anymore. The final spark of One for All has burned out. So charging into danger and wrecking his own body needs to stop. Period. For once, All Might can actually praise him for surviving without a scratch. From now on, he'll train Deku with everything he's got, to become the next symbol of peace. Those tears, not from joy, but because Deku knows the All Might era is truly over. Next morning, the principal calls All Might and to teachers involved in the last incident. A lot of people doubt if All Might should keep teaching at U anymore. So the principal decides, it's time to reignite faith in heroes. He's been planning this for quite a while. A new dorm system at U will explain everything. First stop, Jiro's family. Her dad looks super tense when All Might and as always show up asking to move his daughter to the dorms. But his precious girl totally exposes him. Like how he screamed his lungs out watching All Might fight. Next, Bakugo's house. One look and yeah, you can tell where he got that attitude from. He even argues with his dad right there. Honestly, I have no idea what's going on in that family anymore. As for the dorm thing, Bakugo's mom just said, go ahead teachers. She's super grateful for what is always said at the press conference. So the whole family bowed, begging the teachers to train him even harder. Before leaving, Bakugo called out to All Might and asked, what's the real deal between you and Midoriya? All he is my student, All Might replied. Sorry, but I can't tell you anything more. And then came the toughest visit. All Might went alone, no one else could handle this one better than him. The moment Midoriya and his mom saw him, they froze, completely shaken. But when he brought up the dorm topic, Midoriya's mom answered firmly. I'm against it. Ever since my boy got that mysterious power, he's been getting more and more hurt. If his arms get injured one more time, he might be crippled forever. If the path you're leading him on is one soaked in blood, I can't accept it. She even apologized to her son for saying she'd always support him, but she just couldn't handle the pain of watching her only child get hurt again and again. Midoriya jumped up, insisting it was all his fault, but that only made his mom more determined. If my son truly wants to be a hero, he can go to another school. It doesn't have to be you. Hearing that, Midoriya got mad and ran to his room, but not to cry. He came back holding Koda's thank you letter. He proudly showed it off, saying even a kid who hated heroes thanked him. That letter made me a hero. He'd transfer anywhere, as long as he could keep walking that hero path. Those words made All Might take a stand. Even without his hero form, he pushed himself to walk up to Midoriya's mom, kneeling down, bowing deeply, and begging her to let Midoriya stay. He swore on his life he'd protect that boy. He admitted his weakness, his failure to guide the kid properly. Yes, this path is drenched in blood, but he wanted to walk it beside him, to the very end. He'd protect and teach Midoriya, even if it cost his whole life. Hearing those words broke her walls. She simply asked him to take care of her son, just as he promised. The very next day, class of students rolled out with their luggage, heading to their new home at Ua. A dorm built in just 3 days. Wild, right? It wasn't just for safety, but also to prep for whatever comes next. After all, Tomura and his crew are still out there, as Aoi would still be their homeroom teacher. First up, he had a few things to say about the provisional licenses. Kirishima, Momo, Shodo, Midoriya, and Ida. These 5 went to rescue Bakugo that night. Honestly, all of them except Bakugo should have been expelled on the spot, and everyone else who knew but didn't stop them. Yeah, you're all in trouble too. But since All Might has retired now, everyone gets a pass this time. That said, head inside to go over some dorm rules. Bakugo notices Kirishima looking restless and worried. So Denki is picked to crack jokes and lift the mood. Next, he hands Kirishima his pocket money, because he knows this guy spent his stipend on night vision gear. Turns out this dude does care about his classmates. Consider that a solid 10 goodwill points. Everyone rushes in to check out the dorms. It is seriously fancy, no debate. Boys on the left, girls on the right. Ground floor is the common area. Baths and laundry are here too. Of course they are separated by gender. So watch it, Minoru. The place has 5 floors in total. 8 rooms on each floor. Bedrooms come fully equipped. Rooms are already assigned. Just bring your bags and move in. By night, everyone finally finishes unpacking. The girls happen to come down to hang out. So Asido suggests a contest for best room decor. Here, the ladies rule, so no refusing. First up is Midoriya. All Might figures everywhere. All Might on everything. Next is Fumi, with bizarre tastes, no debate. This room is perfect for kids scared of ghosts. Next contestant is Belly Button Laser. No surprise his room is super flashy. Last on this floor is Minoru. Yeah, skip this guy. Next floor, Ojiro's room. A room with strong Japanese vibes. The class rep is a textbook model student. Nothing but books, and a stash of spare glasses for emergencies. Denki is normal, but Kota has an adorable rabbit. People are starting to get annoyed with this game. It is killing their privacy. And Warlord Minoru seizes the moment, suggesting the girls must let the boys see their rooms for scoring. Asido agrees on the spot, and just like that, Class A's room decoration contest officially begins. 4th floor has Bakugo, Kirishima, and Sochi, but Bakugo already went to sleep, so he is out from the start. First is Kirishima's room. Classic manly boy vibe. Acceptable. Sochi is too simple, so they move on. 5th floor starts with Ciro's Asian-style room, and it is actually something. But all eyes are on Shoto's room. The top student and best-looking guy in class. The girls can't wait to see it. And surprise, it's another Japanese-style room. Maeda literally rebuilt his floor in just a few hours. Last is Sato's room. Looks like he planned ahead. His fresh batch of sweets just came out of the oven. Instant win in the ladies' eyes. Because let's be real, the fastest way to a girl's heart is food. Now it's time to check out the girls' rooms. First up, Hiro. No shocker, nothing but instruments everywhere. Toru went full pink and girly, totally making Minoru lose his mind. Ishido went for bold and stylish. Uraraka kept it simple and neat. Next is Asui. But she said she wasn't feeling well and skipped. And as for Miss Momo, well, her bed alone filled up the whole room, so there's no space to decorate anyway. Finally, after everyone voted, the results are in. The clear winner, with all 5 girls' votes, is Sato. Total bribery with snacks, but the girls stand by their choice. Next morning, the boys gather to brush their teeth together, eat breakfast together, then head out for class. Today's goal: train hard to pass the provisional license exam. Only half of students usually pass each year, so fall behind, and you're done. Everyone has to create their own special move, with help from these 3 teachers. Right after that, they change into training gear and gather in the gym built by Cementos himself. A hero's duty is to save people no matter the situation. So the upcoming exam will test all kinds of scenarios. It's designed to see how heroes react under different conditions. For example, class reps engine boost. Just firing nitro is enough to intimidate opponents. Totally counts as a special move. Or that plant guy before. His move root chain is another solid example. Since the training camp got cancelled, the last days of summer break are gonna be even tougher than before. Time to develop those unique special moves. First up, Hiro. He needs to level up his basic movement. Next, Isido. She just has to train her finger control smartly to boost her acid's accuracy and power. Momo's goal: create 2 objects at once. Everyone's got their own training plan ready. Only Midoriya still looks totally blank. His power's not stable yet. All Might's bored, so he swings by to see how his students are doing. Then he notices his disciple struggling hard. Meanwhile, Bakugo's literally blasting apart Cementos's clones. Talk about extremes. All Might walks over to Midoriya and says just one thing. "You're still trying to copy me." Then he moves on to Kirishima without giving him a chance to respond. That's all the hint he's gonna get. Like the saying goes, teach a man to fish, don't hand him the fish. He's even got a notebook full of advice he stayed up all night writing, customized for each of his students. That afternoon, Midoriya drags himself to the equipment room, looking depressed. He still can't figure out what his mentor meant. Right then, Uraraka and Ida show up to upgrade their gear. The moment they call Midoriya's name, boom! Explosion. There's only one possible suspect. The truth is obvious. The culprit is none other than Hatsune from the support course. But the real highlight here, Appa just showed up. Once things calm down, introductions start. Though Hatsune doesn't remember anyone's name, so that's a lost cause. Still, the outfit upgrade talk can't be skipped. Her supervisor warns her right away. One more mess up, and she's banned from the lab forever. He'll handle this request, not that chaotic girl. Midoriya wants adjustments to ease the strain on his arm ligaments. That's a quick fix. But her inspection is a bit too hands-on for comfort. She gives him a full-body support suit of her own design. Once activated, it spins so fast it nearly sends him flying. Ida also gets a new cooling system like he wanted, but on his arms, not his legs. He fires it up and instantly regrets everything. Looks like this girl's chaotic, but actually, her question hits hard. If you want to cool your legs, why not run with your arms? And that's when it clicks for Midoriya. That's it. He immediately asks Ida to train him on the spot, right after surviving one of Hatsune's test explosions. 4 days later, All Might drops by again to check their progress. Fumikage's figured out how to turn his shadow into full-body armor. That totally covers his weakness in close combat. Bakugo's not far behind. He's learned to focus his blast on one point. Though that same blast sends a huge rock tumbling toward All Might, right as Midoriya steps in, ready to show his mentor what he's learned. It is simple. If hands will not work, switch to legs. Time to pick up Muay Thai. This attack style came from Hatsune's tip. Just learn body control from Ida, and change the strikes from hands to legs. All Might is thrilled with Midoriya's breakthrough. This is beyond a special move, no joke. And it is not just Midoriya who leveled up. Every student has upgrades of their own. Hype is high when Class B shows up and kicks Class out with 10 minutes left. Looks like the big sis is not here to smack that guy today. Class B and Class A train in separate places, since everyone is competing. Today was just a random overlap. The teacher adds this to prevent classes from clashing. The exam runs from June to September, held at 3 locations nationwide at the same time. So relax, Class A and Class B will not meet there. But do not breathe easy yet. 3rd years and even 4th years will join. Competition will be brutal. That night, the girls sit together, venting about the recent grind. But Uraraka is spaced out, and Asui catches it. She stops hiding and admits it. Lately her heart has been fluttering. We all know who, right? Surely not the guy with the letter M in his name. Too embarrassed, Uraraka keeps covering her face, changing the subject to make everyone forget it. But she cannot forget, not while Midoriya is training outside. So how could the others forget either? Next morning, they head to the exam venue. If they get provisional licenses, they will be recognized as semi-pro heroes. Suddenly, a serious guy cuts in, leaving the class confused. Before anyone can speak, he bows hard to the floor to apologize. One look at his class's uniforms and there is no mistaking it. If Yu is in the east, Shiketsu stands in the west. An elite school on par with Yua. The guy declares loudly he loves Yua, and he really wants to test himself against Yua, then heads inside. But as Oa can tell at a glance, this one is no lightweight. Last year he had the highest score among those admitted by recommendation. For some reason, he turned Yua down. In other words, his score was even higher than Shoto, the top of the class. The next visitor is a 200-year loyal fan of the teacher. One look and she's like, let's get married right now. That's the smiley hero. Her quirk basically turns her into a living laughing balloon. The more air she sucks in, the more she laughs. Her being here means Ketsubutsu Academies joined the game too. They're second years, so we better watch out. But of course, Bakugo refuses to talk to the handsome guy from their class. So much for friendly greetings. Soon after, the hall is packed with contestants. Today's host is from the Public Safety Hero Commission. The dude looks dead inside. He's been working overtime non-stop since All Might retired. He skips introductions and goes straight to the point. All 1,540 contestants will face off in a mock battle. Society's on the edge, villains preaching their anti-hero ideals are gaining traction. But those ideals only work in a perfect world. Reality's harsh, so that logic doesn't hold up. Still, that pressure weighs heavy on heroes everywhere. That's why the bar's higher now. Round 1 will wipe out almost everyone, only 100 will pass. That's less than 1%, not half like before, as always sensei. Rules are simple. Every contestant wears these 3 target sensors. Each person gets 6 balls. Hit all 3 targets on an opponent, and that counts as 1 elimination. The first round will happen right here, literally. Surprise! This arena's custom built to match most students' quirks. Before it starts, Midoriya tells everyone not to split up. But Bakugo's the first to walk off. Kirishima instantly follows him. Shoto's quirk isn't group-friendly either, so he leaves too. Midoriya suggested sticking together because every other school already knows what their quirks can do. It's always like this. Yu is the only school that's lost the secrecy advantage. So when the battle starts, the first target of all 1,500 opponents will be Yu. But Aizawa is not sweating it. Whether warned or not, his students have to adapt and think on their feet. That's what makes Yu the top hero school. Especially this year's batch. They're absolute monsters. So yeah, no worries at all. Yu breezes through the first attack wave with ease. But round 2, not that easy. A student from Ketsubutsu hardens his body, then mixes it with a boomerang quirk to hurl balls across the field. No one can tell where the next hit will come from. So everyone's on high alert. Jiro plugs in her earjacks, blasting sound waves to disrupt their path, sending them right toward Minoru. Ishido rushes in, blocking them with a newly made acid wall. Fumikage launches his special move at the girl in front of him. But unlucky, she's got a retracting quirk. She can pull any body part in like a turtle shell. This quirk would be nightmare fuel if used to scare people. The handsome guy from Ketsubutsu finally shows what he's got. One full power strike from him cracks the ground like a mini earthquake, but using it locks him in place for a few seconds. Meanwhile, in the city zone, a wild tornado is sucking up everyone's balls. That's Inasa from Shiketsu at work. After gathering all the balls in one place, he slams them down, creating a wild ball rain. In seconds, he wipes out 120 contestants and becomes the first to clear round 1. Midoriya, on the other hand, gets separated from his group. He checks the area carefully, thinking of a plan to regroup with the others. Suddenly, a girl appears and snatches one of his targets. A stunning Shiketsu girl with a top-tier body. She wants to face Yu students as soon as possible. If she waits, they might all be gone. Her quirk's still a mystery, so attacking blindly is too risky. Midoriya can only dodge and wait for an opening. But one slip and she ambushes him from behind. He dodges one strike but gets caught by another. She pins him down in a very questionable position. Turns out it's stealth technique, not a quirk. Just control your breathing so the enemy can't sense your presence. Clear your mind, hide your aura, and vanish. Sounds simple, but if Shiketsu can train students to master that, props to them. Midoriya shoves her off before she can do anything else. Then another opponent shows up, ending their one-on-one. He keeps dodging non-stop, until his body's about to give out. But then Uraraka pops up out of nowhere, calling him over. When she gets attacked, Midoriya reacts just like Ida taught him. He boosts forward in a burst of speed straight to Uraraka, lands, spins, and destroys the enemy's footing. Then bolts off to find a safer place to rethink his plan. While Midoriya is checking the situation, Uraraka slowly reaches out with a ball toward his target. But yeah, not that easy. Midoriya already knew she wasn't the real Uraraka from the start. The real one isn't useless, she acts, not just talks. But he didn't expect it to be that same girl again. Hold up, she's naked now. Girl, put some clothes on, that's a YouTube violation. What I want, she says, is your smile. She lunges and scratches Midoriya's face. But that's as far as she gets. Zero swings in to save him. The real Uraraka shows up too, chasing her off. And then she starts scolding him. She grumbles about not getting to stay by Midoriya longer, then dashes off. Midoriya tells everyone not to chase. First reason is her disguise ability. Second, that eerie footwork is hard to catch, so it would just waste time. Shoto waits in the factory zone, hunting for prey. But 53 people have already passed. He needs to move now. Right then, a ball flies straight at him. A squad of ninjas shows up, calling him dumb for going solo. He calmly raises an ice wall, freezes their feet, ready to rack up dozens of eliminations. But the red-clad guy who enlarges objects is tough. Even Shoto's flames cannot melt that pile of scrap. He keeps pressing fire, then ice, back and forth. The perfect combo makes a legendary fire and ice toothpaste swirl. But they know the best counters. He cannot just brute force it. Shoto recalls what the organizers said. Use the terrain and fight flexibly. So one of these tanks has the real stuff. He uses basic physics, tweaking temperature to trigger a big explosion. A leaking methane tank plus ice control does the trick. Now, who is in control? Very soon after, he is called back to the waiting room. Round 1 cleared. Meanwhile, in the city zone, a group from another school eyes a UA squad that wandered inside. Using intel from an observation quirk, the white-haired girl calculates fast. She runs Pythagoras, sine, cosine, tangent, everything. In moments, a perfect plan forms. Sochi watches the area, synced with Jiro's Samsung earphones. Sochi sees nothing, but Jiro detects a group 10 floors away moving in. First, a mason speaker at full blast wrecks one of Jiro's ears. Next, sheets of glass shatter, cutting down Sochi's lines of sight. They are clearly trying to trap everyone in this room. Knowing that does not help much. If Jiro even shifts a little, one ear is done for. It is a meticulous plan that checks every box. Then cold air floods in and every door seals shut. The sudden drop puts Isui into hibernation. Momo cannot make fire now or the alarm will trigger. Sprinklers would drop the temperature even more. They also control their system and have cut the power. So all modern gear is useless. For now, Momo can only create a blanket to keep Isui warm. They are welding the emergency exit, leaving just one main door. No need to guess. There is an even nastier trap waiting behind it. Too risky to sprint through, so they need another plan. Jiro immediately thinks of blasting the welded door open. But that would be the dumbest move. They clearly expected that, which is why they dropped the temperature this low. Momo is the one who has to make the final call. But no matter how she thinks about it, there's no clear way to pass this round. The enemies outside have finished stage 3. Just a little more and they'll clear the first round. This perfect plan came from the one with the high IQ quirk in their team. That quirk's kinda similar to the principal's. Momo thinks it over again, same conclusion. The enemy is forcing her to use her quirk. Her creative ability is the one thing they still don't understand. If they can make her burn through all her energy, they'll win. Meaning, once her body runs out of fat to work with, it's game over. At that desperate moment, she suddenly remembers Midoriya's face. That's right. Just do what he would do. Follow his lead, and you might catch a little main character glow yourself. Forget the exam. Focus on saving everyone. She decides to go all in. First, she makes four headsets for the team. Then she creates a complex device that drains most of her body's fat. A wave of deafening sound blasts out, knocking every opponent unconscious. But the team's got headsets. They block most of the noise. So they stay alert and charge outside. But Momo gets dragged back in, and the door slams shut. Somehow, that girl stayed conscious long enough to pull off her plan. Momo's still got a bit of fat left, just enough to make a pair of cuffs to stall for time. She knows her team won't abandon her. Class of students don't leave their friends behind that easily. Victory goes to Momo's squad, absolute win. Meanwhile, Bakugo, Kirishima, and Denki climb to higher ground. Of course, Bakugo keeps yelling about how annoying his teammates are. But when danger hits, he's the first one they save. What kind of nasty quirk is that? The enemy keeps rambling about some weird Shiitsu Academy traditions. But Bakugo does not care. Fight already. Quit wasting time. Midoriya's group, meanwhile, starts racking up some points. Izawa is still watching every student closely. Ms. Joke teases him, thinking he's worried about his kids. They might not realize it, but to students in class have huge influence on the group. Even though they're the source of most class chaos, they're also the driving force. They're what keeps everyone pushing forward. Yeah, it's those two troublemakers right there. Bakugo fires off a combo that wipes out the enemy's attack completely. Then he charges straight in like, "Come at me if you dare." He handles every counter perfectly smooth. And meanwhile, Denki fires to round things at the wall behind the enemy. Bakugo uses that split second of distraction to blast a powerful armor-piercing shot. But it still does nothing. Turns out, the guy already stretched a piece of his own meat behind him and trapped Bakugo. Right before getting squished into a meatball, Bakugo tosses something to Denki. That's this mutant's meatball quirk. He can mold other people's flesh into balls. But his own body, he can shape it however he wants. Thinking he's won, the dude starts mocking everyone. He even steps on Kirishima with that smug face, making Denki furious. "You've been running your mouth way too long, Nan. Forgot who you're dealing with." Denki throws the gear Bakugo gave him, setting off a mini explosion. Then he aims his finger and fires a perfect electric shot. You might be wondering, how did he aim that precisely? It's all thanks to the new equipment built by his teacher and Hatsune. With this gear, within 10 meters, his electricity locks straight onto the discs he fired earlier. Kirishima and Bakugo revert to normal since the quirk wears off. One team combo takes down that arrogant meatball guy. But knocking him out means they now face the others he turned into meatballs. 70 people have cleared round 1 now. Momo's group meets Shoto in the waiting room, waiting for the last 15. Midoriya's squad, with perfect teamwork from Sero and Uraraka, captures most of the remaining contestants. Now, all that's left is to apologize and tag them with the balls. Ida, after running around forever, finally finds Belly Button Laser hiding. He hid way too well. Everyone else is already grouped up. This guy's the only one missing till now. As class rep, Ida has to give his all to help everyone pass the first round. But he also needs to earn his own license. So both of them gotta push through. Meanwhile, Bakugo's group runs into Midoriya's team on the way to the waiting area. Surprisingly, Bakugo actually compliments Midoriya with your power, this is no big deal. What an honor, wow. That means only 9 people are still in the arena. 10 spots left. 8 students from Ms. Joke's class are heading straight to the waiting room. So, it's basically impossible for all 9 left to make it. Belly Button Laser's been hiding behind Ida this whole time. But he's got a dream to chase too. He can't keep hiding forever. He can't keep dragging his class rep down. He stops, aims his belly at the sky, and fires a massive, blinding laser to lure everyone in for Ida to handle. With Ida's insane speed, he knows they can do it. Suddenly, a huge flock of birds swoops in, blocking the enemy's view. Kota just nailed his part perfectly. Fumika jumps on the chance and helps finish the job. All 9 remaining quirks get used to the max. Toru and Oyuro head out first. Then Ishido and Fumikage. Even Warlord Minmoru scores a kill of his own. Kota Sato, and the hot girl secure a spot too. The last 2 slots get snapped up by the underdog duo. All thanks to belly button laser's signal pulling everyone to one place. Time's short, so the organizers move straight to the next round. Honestly, the host is just sleep deprived, please understand. Round 2 is hero work, rescue civilians from this disaster. There will be elders and kids at the blast site. And yes, they are professional victims, trained to cry for help as realistically as possible. Scores depend on how smoothly you pull off the rescue. This disaster mirrors the raid on the League of Villains. So many civilians died then. That is why this test exists, to remind everyone that rescue is always a hero's top priority. Before it starts, Sero gossips with Denki and Minoru about that sexy girl over there. Her body alone has them drooling. But the kicker is Midoriya already saw her when she was naked. They pounce on Midoriya to interrogate him. Then she waves at Midoriya, which makes it even worse. While they are arguing, Shiketsu strolls over to say hi. They mainly ask where their one missing member went, just as their captain guessed. With that personality, he would never last against Bakugo. But they brought everyone here just to mingle, nothing shady. Where this relationship goes depends on whether they clash in the exam. Shoto has a question for Inasa. Did I wrong you somehow? One look at those eyes says it all. Inasa seems to especially hate the hero endeavor. The father sins, the son pays for it. Meanwhile, Uraraka's chest feels like it is about to explode. Seeing Midoriya flustered by that girl is something she cannot accept. She is about to confront him when the bell rings. The exam starts now. The remaining 100 candidates scatter to rescue as many as possible. Midoriya quickly finds the first victim. A child screams that his grandpa is trapped, so Midoriya rushes in and asks, "This is bad, where is your grandpa?" Instant point deduction. First, check if the victim can walk. Check for heavy bleeding. Do not rush like that. HUC staff act as on-site judges. With their deep experience, they give the most accurate feedback. Over at Shiketsu, the captain is crushing it with a hair expansion quirk. Ketsubutsu Academy's doing great too, rescuing tons of people without a single complaint. When it comes to saving lives, experience really makes the biggest difference. Midoriya finally realizes his mistake. He remembers his mentor's legendary words. He slaps his own face, smiles just like his teacher, and says, "It's all good now." He'll personally escort the victim to safety, while the others go find more survivors. Uraraka watches his back as he runs and thinks he looks so cool. Without even noticing, she's already fallen for Midoriya. The closer she gets, the stronger it feels. But she tries to push those feelings away to focus on the mission. Inasa's also crushing his part of the test. He controls his quirk super precisely to shield victims from flying debris. Skill-wise, he's solid, but yeah, points still got docked. Scaring the victim, then tossing them in the air before catching them again, not ideal. Uraraka spots a victim trapped inside the rubble. She's about to run in and lift the rocks, but Momo stops her. There are huge boulders stacked on each other. Move one wrong piece and it'll all collapse. So the construction team steps in to stabilize the debris. Uraraka just needs to play her part. Still, she loses points for being inefficient. Too many victims out there to focus on one. Time's precious in a disaster like this. Other teams decide to split up into zones that match their quirks for faster rescues. Bakugo, on the other hand, tells victims to save yourselves. Sure, they're lightly injured and can move on their own. But that tone, massive point deduction. Midoriya brings his victim safely to the med zone. Now comes the next challenge. It's not always smooth sailing, so the organizers throw in villains to make it more realistic. A top 10 hero by power, but top 3 and looks like a criminal. Even Izawa comments on it. This scenario's brutal, even for pros. Getting through it with a temporary license, rough. For this second exam, scores are based on multiple factors. HUC judges whether the heroes act properly for the situation. Did they put themselves in the right spot to use their quirk best? To keep things fair, 100 staff members will each grade different participants. Anyone scoring below 50, instant fail. Mr. Handsome takes the lead, shaking the ground with his vibration quirk. In seconds, the ground splits apart. But the top 10 heroes push through and strike like nothing happened. With his killer will powers, he can do everything a real orca can do, and more. Shoto throws up an ice wall to shield them. Klasa rolls in to help Midoriya get civilians to safety. A sudden gust kicks up. The last person Shoto wants to see arrives. Inasa blows away every villain below, except the top 10 hero. Their eyes meet. Do they say anything? Nope. Both attack on their own, and end up canceling each other. Strong wind snuffs out fire. Arguing breaks out right in the middle of a brutal battlefield. They both lose their cool, and the villain takes advantage, countering non-stop. Inasa idolizes hot-blooded heroes who put people first. But once, Endeavor coldly shoved a fan aside, eyes full of hatred. Later, at a special exam, Shoto had the exact same look. Hearing that makes Shoto's blood boil. So, he hates my dad. What does that have to do with me? Even now, deep down, Shoto still resents his father. So right now, he wants to vent it all with a massive attack. Inasa does the same, and their powers blast each other back. Mr. Handsome chilling on the side gets caught in the crossfire for no reason. Midoriya swoops in to save him and yells, "You two, what on earth are you doing?" Old memories hit Inasa hard. During a sprint race, he thought he could befriend Shoto and drop his bias toward Endeavor. He pushed at the 89th second and barely won. He turned to greet Shoto, but saw that same look. Shoto would not even look his way. Shoto now remembers that face too. Back then, he was so angry at his father he ignored the guy. No time to breathe. The top 10 hero charges again. Inasa fires a brutal shockwave first, missing only the finishing blow to complete the set. Shoto gets hit point blank and goes numb all over. They realize they became the kind of people they hate. A hero owns up and fixes it. Mr. Handsome cannot move, but he still triggers another quake to buy time. That gives Midoriya room to run off and help elsewhere. Shoto is almost knocked out, Inasa too. But in this moment, it is like a thread links their minds, unleashing a wind and fire combo together. They aim it at the top 10 hero, trapping him in a fiery cage. His underlings rush in to save their boss, but Midoriya and Oyiro arrive just in time to stop them. Only 3 victims left before this round ends. Right now, time matters most. Asui jumps in, showing off her new stealth move with a quick surprise attack. The Shiketsu captain also joins in with his terrifyingly strong quirk. Even inside that endless fiery cage, the top 10 hero still holds his ground. A whale against fire should have been toast ages ago. But this guy's just built different. And right on cue, Midoriya shows up. Any tough job, Midoriya's got it handled. This is the final move. Because the bell rings, the last 2 victims are saved by Bakugo's team. The results are in, flashing right up on the big screen. Midoriya's name appears on the leaderboard. And right after that, his teammates. Most of Klasa made it, but one certain someone didn't. Neither did Inasa or Shoto. Inasa walks straight up to Shoto and bows, apologizing for everything. Shoto admits he's partly at fault too, so they call it even. Minoru starts mouthing off again, but Ida shuts him up instantly. The tensions thick until the judges begin handing out scores. Every single paper in their hands was graded manually. Some scores are crazy high, while others just barely make it past 50. Those whose names made the board get a temporary hero license. From now on, they can fight real villains, save real people, and act without needing pro supervision. But with All Might just retired, bad guys are bound to crawl out of hiding. The balance will break soon, and these students will become society's new core. Every move they make will carry weight, and the punishment for mistakes will be heavy. As for those who failed, there's no time for self-pity. There's still hope. After a 3-month special course, if they pass all the tests, they'll earn the same temp license as the rest. To face the uncertain future ahead, society needs more heroes than ever. Of course, only these 100 qualified students get that special chance. They could retake the exam next year, but seriously, who'd be that dumb? That afternoon, Midoriya finally holds his license. Joy floods his face, and his tears say it all. Of course, he snaps a pic right away, sending it to Mom, his mentor, and posting it to his story. Inasa runs past Shoto, waving goodbye, promising to see him again at the special course. Though, let's be real, they still kinda hate each other. Midoriya takes the chance to pull out his notebook, asking the Shiketsu captain about his stealth technique. But he says there was no stealth move at all. And that sexy girl, yeah, she already grabbed a ride home. Wait, what? Oh no, something's off. Turns out that girl was Toga. Yep, trouble's brewing. She managed to get Midoriya's blood. And with her power to shapeshift by drinking blood, yeah, something big's coming. The next morning, All Might goes to the special prison for ultra-dangerous criminals to meet All for One. Surprisingly, he has not been executed, just marched to the guillotine in front of the public. This place is insanely strict. A fly passes by and they know if it is male or female. With guns integrated with cameras, they monitor vital signs and brain waves in real time. If he even thinks of using a quirk, he is eating a headshot. All Might is here for one reason only. Where is Tomura right now? That is the question he wants answered. While he is at it, he also wants to know why this man keeps clinging to life when he should have died long ago. All for One answers with a mocking grin. Just like you crave being a righteous hero, I crave being a ruthless demon king. He also wonders what the world looks like now that All Might retired. The warden warns All Might not to reveal anything. This place is sealed off from the outside. He loses interest in an answer and draws his own conclusions. He is sure the media isn't happy about All Might's departure. And criminals will start moving. They think they can reshape society and will act in organized groups. Tomura's crew, for example, will make a move soon. From here on out, you can only watch the crime rate climb and spend the rest of your life as a burden to society. He hits a nerve, and All Might is furious. But it will not be that easy to shake All Might's resolve. I will not die. I will not let Tomura kill me. I cannot be killed. That future you imagine, throw it in the trash. Visiting hour's end, and he heads home. On the way, he gets a photo from his student and lights up with joy. That night, Bakugo suddenly asks Midoriya to meet while everyone else is asleep. They walk for a while and reach the first place their class trained to fight. Also where Bakugo lost to Midoriya. He has long suspected Midoriya's sudden quirk. He has thought it through and reached a conclusion. The villain's ringleader can steal quirks from others. Proof: one of the victims there lost their power. After Midoriya met All Might, he changed, and then All Might lost his power. And that pointing gesture All Might made back then. Bottom line, Midoriya's power came from All Might. He is sure of it. So right here, Bakugo wants to settle it once and for all, with a fight. Midoriya starts to panic. He refuses non-stop. This is not a place to fight. At least borrow a training field or do it properly in the arena. But Bakugo says if they fight seriously there, they will get stopped immediately. Also, if your way of admiring All Might is right, I want to know why my way is wrong. Two thoughts keep clashing in Midoriya's head, but his answer is still no. But Bakugo doesn't care whether he agrees or not. He jumps straight into the fight. Midoriya dodges, but that just fires Bakugo up even more. Explosions go off non-stop, triggering patrol bots to alert Aizawa right away. The man's already drowning in deadlines. Now these two brats start brawling. Midoriya keeps begging Bakugo to calm down. Fighting won't solve anything. But that only makes Bakugo angrier, completely unhinged now. The more he remembers the past, the more bitter he gets. Midoriya flips perfectly, landing a clean hit that sends Bakugo crashing down. He rushes to help Bakugo up. But Bakugo just grits his teeth and says, "Why do I always end up chasing the shadow that used to trail behind me? How did a weakling like you become this strong? Why are you powerful now while I'm the one who ended All Might's career? If I'd been stronger, if I'd escaped those villains, none of that would have happened. I don't even know what to do anymore." Those are words straight from Bakugo's heart, ones he's never said before. Maybe this fight is pointless. But Midoriya knows, right now, he has to fight Bakugo for real. He swings a kick straight at his face, saying he'll give this fight everything he's got. He dodges Bakugo's first attack with smooth precision. But with Bakugo charging like a tank on steroids, Midoriya's in trouble. A punch to the face, then another, and another. He spins Midoriya like a top and tosses him aside. But he's not done yet. Bakugo keeps pressing, attack after attack, hitting him, yelling, "You're nothing." Then shouting, "Why do you look down on me? Your attitude, it's like you think you're better than me. Like you're some elite staring down at your opponent." Midori is like, "How did I even get labeled condescending? Listen, Bakugo, you've got things I'll never have. You're amazing, someone I admire even more than All Might. Now take this kick, 8% power, and reflect on that." Midoriya's body can now handle 8% without breaking a bone. A solid sign he's climbing toward the top. Blue and orange light clash, neither willing to back down. Midori is dead set on winning. This is all out, no holding back. To future top heroes, giving everything they've got right here. Midoriya finds midair, switching from legs to arms in a split second. Don't think my hands are useless just because I kick. But Bakugo's just as determined. And the final result flashes across the screen. Bakugo wins, completely, decisively. That's when All Might shows up, yelling for them to stop. He apologizes for not paying attention sooner. He thought Bakugo was strong enough to handle it. So, he didn't look closely enough. "I'm weak too, but I've always wanted to be strong, just like you. Because I was weak, I became like this." All Might can only pull him into a hug and apologize. He gives Bakugo and Midoriya one piece of advice. Face your own flaws and keep fixing them. Do that, and one day you two will be even greater heroes than me. Bakugo drops the blame and asks, "Who knows the secret about you and Midoriya?" He knows All Might does not want this leaking. So, he will keep it locked up, and like a certain green-haired guy who spilled it. Right after, All Might shares the full truth about All for One. How he became the #1 hero. How he was badly injured, and how he chose a successor. Bakugo decides. Just like the green-haired guy kept grinding to get stronger, he will do everything to power himself up too. The whole thing ends with their dog and cat bickering. One day, they will be exceptional heroes. But the moment they return to the dorms, the homeroom teacher catches them. All Might begs us all to take it easy. He stopped him once already from running over there. So, he can stop him a second time too. Here is the deal. This kid and that kid ran into each other and went all out. I dragged them back here, so please let them off for now. Sounds nice, but punishment is still punishment. Make a teacher miss a deadline and you are done for. Bakugo scrubs toilets and cleans the area for 4 days. Midoriya does 3 days. Plus 2 written apologies due tomorrow morning. Next morning, a stranger smokes by a window, staring outside. It has been over half a month since All Might retired. But the news still says his name non-stop. All Might's influence is massive. Another name getting plenty of airtime is Endeavor. He got the #1 title. But people say he is not worthy. His stubborn attitude left a bad taste with the public. Though in terms of power, no one argues. Enough news talk. This stranger seems to have 2 personalities in his head. He heads out for a walk and bumps into a crook sprinting from a corner shop. A hero shows up fast to stop him. But another villain appears to back him up. They work in groups, so the heist goes off easily. The stranger does not care and keeps strolling. His phone rings. Turns out he is a villain too. Jerome calls, asking where Dabi is. That question triggers his other personality to clash with the main one. Dabi is out purging the weak criminals, recruiting only the tough ones who can go one-on-one with those hero kids. Back to the mysterious guy. He has to put his mask on just to calm that other personality down. Turns out, this dude can make clones. His quirk is duplication. He can create perfect copies of himself, same body, same everything. If you've watched Naruto, it's basically like that forbidden clone technique Naruto uses. But some clones didn't like taking orders from the original. So yeah, a full-on massacre happened. It lasted a whole week. In the end, they stabbed each other to death. Only the original survived. Honestly, I don't even know what else to say about this dude. Anyway, back to our boy Midoriya. He's still grinding day and night, pushing his limits. That punch he gave Bakugo, strong enough, but his arm's still holding up fine. Meanwhile in class, Ida's still killing it as the responsible class rep, until he bumps into that crazy guy again. Only the class queen can deal with this mess. But she just joins in with the rest, clowning class for having the students fail the exam. Shinsu walks by and throws a few insults too. But the important part, he seems way more mature than last time. Next up, the morning assembly. All departments gather in the courtyard to hear the principal talk. Stuff about resting well, eating healthy, staying in shape, the usual boring speech. Yeah, we're skipping that part. After the principal, Teacher Howards takes the mic. He's the extracurricular instructor and has some things to say to the students. Woof woof growl growl, basically dog language. He's scolding the kids who fought in the dorms. Since he's speaking a foreign language, Mr. Vlad acts as translator. Some students fought last night. He just wants to remind everyone to live with discipline, that's all. After assembly, it's time for homeroom. Aceto wonders why the teacher didn't mention that thing. You know, the one that happened just last night. But never mind, forget it. Then Asu raises her hand to ask about the upcoming research internship. Everyone's been curious, so the teacher explains. In short, heroes won't just train inside school. You'll go out there and get real-world experience. You'll be doing the exact same thing. Once that's done, it's Presentmic's turn, our school's very own MC. That afternoon, Minoru the cleaning king points out a dusty spot to Bakugo. Bakugo instantly snaps at Midoriya again. Everyone else just got back. They start chatting about the upcoming internship, which makes Midoriya curious. But no one dares tell him anything. Izawa banned everyone from mentioning it to the two who messed up. Midoriya is fuming. He lost 3 whole days doing trash duty. So many valuable classes gone. All that knowledge missed just to clean floors. While he's sulking, a face pops up beside him, telling him to toss the trash right here. Right after saying that, he disappears and pops up from the ground again. Bro, who even are you? Why are you scaring people like that? Man, I swear, I keep running into weirdos today. 3 days later, Midoriya finally gets to go back to class, while Bakugo still has 1 more day left. The moment he walks in, he apologizes to everyone. Then Izawa pops up out of nowhere, scares the life out of him. Geez, you scared me, sensei. Today, the teacher's got something special planned. He's bringing in 3 guests. They're third-year US students, the academy's top trio, here to guide the newbies. Everyone's instantly starstruck by the legendary Big Three. Well, except for our warrior of culture, Minoru. A real man, he says, should appreciate every aspect of a woman's beauty. You know, not just judge by the surface. Midoriya, on the other hand, recognizes that face. Not because that guy annoyed him yesterday, but because he saw him at the sports festival 3 years ago. He didn't rank high back then, but he still left a huge impression, especially on the girls. Starting from the left, first up, Amajiki. His intense gaze alone makes underclassmen feel like they're about to crumble. But in his eyes, everyone below him just looks like talking potatoes. He quietly panics, whispering to his teammates that he's not okay. No matter how hard he tries, he just can't imagine them as normal humans. Why, you ask? The beautiful blue-haired girl will explain. With her energy wave quirk, she says Amajiki's weird way of thinking is totally normal for him. Her name's Hado. But first, she's gotta clear up a few burning questions in her mind. Why does Shoji wear a mask? And why does Shoto have that scar? Wait, hang on, can Aceto's broken horn even grow back? And Minoru, those balls on your head, are those your hair? So many random questions, and our battle god Minoru's having the time of his life. Hey, that's a bit personal, asking about my balls like that. She's talking so much, is always starting to lose patience. Then Togata, the blonde guy next to her, tries to smooth things over with a joke. But the joke's so dry no one laughs, and he ends up chuckling alone. Alright, down to business. The Big Three are here today to guide the first years through some real-world training. And of course, that starts with a little combat practice. Izawa doesn't object, so everyone heads straight to the gym. Amajiki, knowing Togata's power, warns the newbies to be careful. Apparently, one kid once got beaten so bad they ended up in the hospital and dropped out. But Classa, they don't fear anything. They've already faced top-tier villains, after all. No way they'd lose to some third-years. Midoriya volunteers to go first. He wants to see for himself just how big the gap is between him and UAS strongest. One for all, full body. But hold up, dude, what are you doing? There are girls here, you know. Midoriya takes that opening and plants a kick right in his face. Just like he guessed. This guy's quirk lets him phase through anything. Everyone jumps in to rush him with a fast combo and end it quick. But Togata pops up from who knows where and in a blink is behind them. With wild speed and clutch decision making, he wipes out over half the squad in a heartbeat. Shoto hangs back watching. He did not pass the exam yet, so he sits this out. The rest still have Midoriya, so there is hope. Main character or do your thing. He calmly analyzes it every which way. There has to be a window where he cannot use his quirk. The captain speaks facts. Fighting spirit is heating up. He vanishes again, but this time Midoriya predicts exactly where he will reappear. Once more, Midoriya's kick phases through him, and it was all a feint. When the captain goes down, the team follows. One horse moves, the whole cart moves. Togata wins without a single scratch. Everyone starts booing and protesting. That cheating quirk is not fair. Hato jumps in to break it down for the kids. Big Bro's quirk is permeation. Teleporting is just one part of how it works. Simple version, Togata can pass through anything, even the ground. But when he sinks into the ground, he gets shot back up because masses cannot occupy the same space. He uses that trait to aim where he will pop out. Boom, instant reposition. But this is not some free win quirk. It actually has a ton of drawbacks. Dropping underground means shutting off all 5 senses. Down there it is pure darkness, zero awareness. So, he has to act with extreme care. With experience, he can guess the next right move and predict how opponents will try to block his attack. That is exactly what Togata wants the juniors to learn. Experience is what gives you power. Hard work covers what talent does not. Only with that can we really level up. After a long day getting schooled by Togata, Bakugo taking out the trash back at home hits different. Mine, and mine too. Toss all of it. Mess up more so we can enjoy the perks, yeah? Meanwhile, Midoriya calls Gran Torino for advice on his next power-up step. He is super busy right now, so no coaching session. Instead, he tells Midoriya to go ask All Might. No matter what kind of #1 hero you are, there are always people ready to help train you. Meanwhile, the League of Villains has just recruited a mysterious new member. And that's a wrap for Season 3. See you guys in the next videos.